And we can stretch a little bit. So onto the back. And we're going to start as we're on our back. Knees are bent. Body's probably happy to be on the back right now. We're going to do a little stretching of the body. First, arms out to the side, feet and knees on the floor, or feet on the floor, knees bent. We're going to let our back go a bit flat. And we're going to let our back arch a little bit. Good time to exhale when the back flattens, and you can practice pulling in with that transverse abdominis, sinking the belly like a bowl. Inhale, arching. Exhale, flattening. Inhale, arching. That's always nice. When we come into a reclined position, we've decompressed the pressure that was on our spine from sitting or any other position. Now let's bring our right leg in toward our chest, letting the back naturally flatten, and put the hands in the back leg. We're going to focus on releasing the hamstring region. So we pull the leg in snug, and we begin to straighten the leg, and we'll start to notice. Now, a lot of times when I see people straighten the leg, their leg will move away from them. Keep it snug in, because the part of the hamstring I'd like us to focus on stretching is closer to this midline to seat muscle line, although you might very well feel it in the back of the leg. And right now I'm keeping my foot very calm because I'm focused on straightening the knee. The more I straighten the knee, the more I feel the stretch in the hamstring. And so we're just breathing deeply with the stretch being very simple this first round. And that's good. We're going to bend the right knee, put it down, and we're going to pull the left knee in, and we're going to adjust our hands into the back of the leg and pull in nice and firm. And then keeping the leg very close, we just straighten the leg. And again, I'm not fooling with the ankle right now or stretching the calf as much as I'm just after this stretch right here. Because I think sometimes when we add on too many things, too many stretches, it interferes with our body's ability to cope. We just give up on one and focus more totally on the other. And you could feel different areas stretching in the leg structure, one side versus the other. And that's really great. So we're getting a nice releasing hamstring stretch. It's a nice one because in order to straighten the knee, we have to use the muscle right here in the front of the leg. That's going to send the signal through the spinal cord, telling the back of the leg that we want to lengthen it. And very good, we're going to bend the knee, but we're going to bring the right knee in to join the left. We got both knees in close to our chest. We'll do several things with them, but for now, we're going to stretch the hamstring. So the hands in the back of the leg, and we're just going to straighten both legs. Now this time, because both legs are brought into it, we can reach those heels or turn the feet in different ways to bring in the calf area as part of the stretch too. So we're breathing deeply, and there's no particular prescription on how straight the legs get. Yours may be straighter than mine or less straight. Your legs may be closer than mine or less close, and it's okay because it's just a reflection of what the balance of power is to certain muscle groups already. It's a modifiable thing. Let's let the knees bend now. Okay, spread your arms outward. Now remember, in all twists, if it begins to agitate your back, the best thing to do is to bring the feet down and let them rest. But let's see how we are with the shoulders pressing and just rocking the knees a little bit to one side and then a little bit to the other side. And so we're not going very far, and we're not going to go very fast. So we're going to linger as we get to the ends of one side, making sure the opposite shoulder stays down. And then we'll linger the other way, make sure that opposite shoulder stays down. And just nicely back and forth, because we've done things that affected our core. We've done things in the forward bending action, the squatting action that engage us in a way that we might have tried to substitute some of our back muscles in place of the muscle we were trying to work with. And that's very good. Now let's cross one leg over the other. And this is a binding position. The shoulders stay down and we rock to one side. Now the weight of the leg is pulling this opposite hip and the portion of the pelvis in the back down a bit. And then we are going to keep the legs in the same position as we tilt the other way. You could have a toe down if you didn't want to support the whole body weight in this twist. And so back and forth we go. And if we're gentle enough and and comfortable enough with this, we may feel some things shift or clicks or pops as the spinal joints or pelvic joints begin to align themselves. Now we're going to come to center and uncross, coming out of our bind. And then the other leg comes over the top, and we again go back and forth. And so we've created the bind now in the opposite direction. And so you may feel a very similar challenge in some parts, maybe very different to have one leg crossed versus the other leg. And that's really great. Now we're going to unloop them. We're going to bring the feet down. We're going to have our knees separated relatively wide on the mat. We're going to tilt our legs toward the right, and when we do, the left side of the pelvis comes up. Because of the position of the leg, we're now also stretching the quadriceps, the front of the thigh, up into the structure of the pelvis. And then we'll bring the knees up. We'll twist now to the left, and it'll be the right quad in front of the pelvis that will be brought into our stretch. And it's up to you to decide how far you let the legs go one direction or the other. So it's a very limited twist for the back, but a very good stretch for the hips. We're going to come to center. We're going to bring our feet and knees together. Now, before we do anything else, we're going to create a little bit of a shimmy action. And so a shimmy is when we move the leg in such a way that it pulls the pelvis away from the ribcage. So I'm going to push my left knee forward, relaxing that, and then I'm going to push my right knee forward. Now, they don't go very far forward. They do go a little bit forward. And I can feel a little bit of a pull. And this is okay like this, but it works a lot better when we bring it into a twist. So now I'm going to start to rock a little bit left and right with the feet very close together. And the next time I go toward this left side, I'm going to reach my right knee more forward, and I'm going to get a really nice elongation through this right side all the way into the front of the pelvis. And then we'll bring the knee up and we'll tilt toward the right, and we'll reach that left knee, and we'll get a lovely stretch all the way into the front of the pelvis. And we'll go back and forth with that little bit of shift. And so sometimes things we do are very subtle. A subtle action, and yet it's quite profound. It's only subtle because it's a small action. It's quite profound because of the muscle we're using or the effect on the body. Very nice. And so that's trying to reorient the structure of our pelvis so that it takes on a shape that allows the transfer of stress from the back into the legs. That's what it's supposed to do. That's why it's a nice little circular shape. Now we're going to come to center, and I do want us to stretch our legs out. So the legs are stretched outward, and we're going to turn the hips out and in a few times. And that just sort of settles everything down a little bit. And we're going to do another shimmy. We're going to reach right side a little longer than left, and then left side a little longer than right. And so it's another kind of shimmy, and it's different when the hips are turned in than when the hips are turned out. So you explore that, let that release. Now tighten up the seat muscles and then let them relax. You're going to feel the shift in the pelvis, especially if you do one side at a time. The contraction is going to tilt the pelvis a little bit one side versus the other side. And that's all really great, but our natural inclination of turning the hips out makes it seem that we could always contract the seat muscle, and yet when we turn our hips deliberately inward and try for the seat muscle contraction, we find that the connection has changed a little bit. So we try one side and we try the other side with the hips turned in, and it's a very different response of our body as far as its reaction. And then we let that relax. The legs are straight. We're going to inhale, trying to arch our back. And when we begin to exhale and work to flatten the back, we'll find that unless we really press, we're going to not get the back very flat at all. And it's okay, whatever flatness or lack of flatness. Inhale, back, arch. And then exhale, trying to flatten the back at least a little bit. And this is all pulling into the muscle structure that forms the shape of our pelvis. So we're trying to just do a little bit of realigning there. And then we just let that relax, and the pelvis is nicely in a neutral shape. We're going to walk our shoulders away from the head and toward the hips a little bit to release tension from the neck. We're going to broaden the back of the shoulder, and we end up turning the arms so the inside of the elbow and palms face the ceiling. We let the eyes close, and we begin to make a circle with the chin one way, and then we circle the chin the other way. In the center, we go ahead and retract and tuck the chin, and then we arch and elongate the neck. And then finally, we just have that chin pointed straight up. Breathe into the belly, into the sides, into the lower and the upper back. Just fill, 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 fill with air. Tighten the body at that full deep inhale, and then exhale and go limp and relax. Try and just let every part of you sink and let go. And you'll do another deep breath, starting in the belly, bringing it into the sides, the lower back, the upper back, the shoulder blades, the collarbones. Inhaling, and then exhaling and going limp and relaxed. Every breath, deep, deep inhales, slow exhales, letting your body relax, letting your mind shift into the moment so that all the sounds you hear are equal. And all the sensations throughout your body, your head, your feet, your shoulders, your hips, your arms, your legs, and chest, whatever you feel, the pressure, the sensation of what you're resting on, the air temperature or air currents on your skin, the clothes on your body, there it is, all at once, all the same. And the thoughts in our mind, they're going to be there. They're what a mind does. It thinks. It's like the beating of a heart. The heart beats, the mind thinks. Just let it be. Everything equal. So that everything about your moment becomes equally important and equally unimportant. So that the next few deep inhales and slow exhales, you're just trying to float on the surface of the here and the now. It's like you're in a hot air balloon, just looking down and noticing all these things, and yet slightly detached, slightly away from it all. Still there, hearing everything, feeling everything, thinking everything, but you're just in the moment, and it's right here, and it's right now, and you can breathe slowly and deeply, and you can let go and relax in this one moment at this one time. Now begin to deepen your breath even more. And begin to allow ever so slight movements, fingers and toes at first, gradually moving a little bit more, a little bit more. And your body will want to stretch. And you'll just let your body stretch in whatever way it would like to, until it feels the need to stretch has been satisfied. And then when you are ready to, you will roll over to one side or the other, pausing there enough to breathe deeply. those strong arms from your side. You'll sit, coming up sideways so there's no strain to the neck or the back. And just sit and take some deep breaths in. Deep inhale. Slow exhale.